Today on the channel, we go to infinity and beyond with Adam Warlock, Infinity Gauntlet, and Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got something extra special as we got the brand new comic book wave with Miles Morales, and one I'm really excited for, Infinity Gauntlet, Adam Warlock. But for all your Adam and Miles needs and a whole lot more, hit up DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. Gotta get a deal out there. And of course, going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And we're going to start it off with Adam Warlock. We're starting off real hot here today. Nothing against Miles Morales. We've had a lot of Miles Morales the last couple of years, but it's been a while since we've had Adam Warlock outside of the MCU version, I guess. And we did get one way back when. We'll do some comparisons to that later in this video. But I'm real excited for this one because it represents his time in the Infinity Gauntlet. And the Infinity Gauntlet was a big thing for me as a little kid, as there was a, I don't know, let's call it 3 miles from my house, there was a comic book store. And when I was a little kid in the summertime, I'd hop on my old bicycle and I would drive to that comic store, or bicycle to that comic book store. And I was picking up the Infinity Gauntlet and all the issues that surrounded it, everything that had to do. I was all in on the Infinity Gauntlet, and obviously Adam Warlock, a huge part of that story arc there. That comic book store was not a fun time for little Kyle, though. It was fun to go there. It was fun to get comics. But man, oh man, that store owner, I'll never forget it. He hated kids. You were not allowed to bring a backpack. You were not allowed to bring any food, drink. You couldn't even chew gum in the store. It was just a little closet of a store, and it just had new comics primarily. But it was just a little comic book store, but it was very convenient. I could ride my bicycle too and stuff. But the owner wouldn't allow any, he hated kids. And I'm pretty sure like a little years later, he said no kids allowed without a parent, I believe. But obviously kids probably stealing and stuff like that. But it didn't just stop with the kid rules. It was all rules in the store. He had pictures everywhere in the store saying, if you touch the comic book, you have to buy it. So we'd have all the new comic books in like the newspaper rack kind of things. But if you touched it, and of course it's a small little place about as big as this little area I'm in, you got to own this. You have to buy this. You have to buy this. And then if you didn't, he was throwing you out of the store. He'd ban you. He'd ban people all the time. Buddies of mine would get kicked out of there. The guy just like hated customers is what it felt like. And I was like, 8, 9-year-old kid or whatever I was at the time. I was like, man, I just, not knowing how stores and everything should work. It's like terrible customer service. You basically hate everybody. And I remember one time picking up one and grabbing 2 and being real scared that, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to buy both of these. It's just a wild way to run a business. And obviously he's long out of business now, so it didn't work out too well for him. But I'll never forget those summers and fall, probably not the winter, riding over to that comic book, and the Infinity Gauntlet was a big part of that when I was a kid. So there's old Adam Warlock in his Infinity Gauntlet colors. Be interesting to see if we get anybody else from that Infinity Gauntlet. And I haven't read the Infinity Gauntlet since I was like 9 years old, so I don't remember a ton about it, but be cool to go down memory lane and maybe check that out, of course. But Adam Warlock looking pretty good right here. Little image up there. Number one, of course. On the back, got that cross-sell unboxing every single one of these on the channel, so check that out. Jibber Jabber UPC at the bottom. A little bit of a blurb. Let's see what it says about our friend Adam. In the Infinity Gauntlet saga, the leader of the Soul World, Adam Warlock, joins a group of heroes to help thwart Thanos' schemes. And that was the first time I ever remember seeing Thanos, way back when. So very, very fun times in my childhood for sure. But now let's get him out of the package. See what that Warlock's up to. He's a good Warlock, of course. But whenever I hear Warlock, I think of the great Doro Pesh, of course, her old band Warlock back in the 80s. A great metal band if you've never heard it. See you later, goodbye. And I'm not a huge female vocals, but I do enjoy some Doro from time to time. Infinity Gauntlet book right there. The comic book is there. Very, very cool. I don't know if I need these, though. I've said that in every single one of these unboxing. It's like, it's cool for what it is, but I'm not displaying these guys on my shelf holding a comic book. It just feels weird to me. I don't know. There's old Adam Warlock right there. Going to knock him out of the package here. Maybe we will. We got some tape. It could be Cambodian, Todd. Get your tongue over here. Let's taste that. Let me know. Got that big old eagle staff. I gotta get that big old cape. Oh my gosh. See you later. Goodbye. That cape, tough to get out. What? Todd McFarland from the couch? Yeah, I know. Todd's saying, hey, it's not a cloth cape like mine are. Yeah, you still use plastic capes time and after time. But he is right. It is a plastic cape. Where are we going to get those real capes going on over here? But I'm excited for this figure. Let's dive into it. Let's start with the staff here. Got the eagle staff. Very bendable, very pliable plastic out of here. All in a brown color. Looking good, though. Got to have a good staff, especially if you're a warlock. What are you doing without a staff? It's like a wizard without a sleeve. That's what it is. That's what it is. But we do get the extra hands here. Now, we do get the gauntlet hand here. Of course, all the gauntlet rings going on there. And then it does put over the arm as well. So very cool to see that. That's very iconic. If you're doing the Infinity Gauntlet, you better have the Infinity Gauntlet. And we got that going on. And then when the chips are down, we got 2 punches and bunches ready to be thrown. Got the red gloved fingers. Fingers, hands, fists of fury. You know what I mean. Then we do get a trigger hand in case he needs to bust out a gun, apparently. He's got that ready to go with the up and down hinge. And then we do got the other up and down hinge with just a gripping staff hands here. So choose your own adventure. I don't know if he needs the trigger hand. I don't know if he's going to pull out a Glock on Thanos or something. I don't know what he's going to be up to. But it is interesting. But now we're diving into the figure here. And man, oh man, quite the head sculpt there. Got that classic hair going on. Very windswept, of course. Got a crazy eyes there like he's possessed. And he's showing off those teeth. I don't care where he's from. Intergalactic teeth dentistry. Doing a good job on him. Looking very good. Of course, got the high collar, Todd McFarlane. You know they're welcoming him right into Club Eternia. Club Grayskull, he's right in there. They get that thing. They, right this way, Mr. Warlock. And he goes right in there with that high collar. Of course, cape over the top, looking very good. Even a little skull action on there. Red on the outside, yellow on the inside. Just like Hulk Hogan's heart is this cape right here. Got the red sleeves, then the black bodysuit. Red down into the legs, down into the feet. But man, very much a lot of articulation on this one as we get butterfly shoulders, which is pretty cool to see here. Bicep cut right there. Double jointed, pinless elbows. Hands, like I said, removable up, down, back and forth. Head back and forth, side to side. Is this cape removable? Is this cape? It is. Yeah, it's removable. So you can take it out if you want to. I don't know why you would, but it does plug into the back there. I was wondering on that. But you can mix and match, choose it around if you really want to do that kind of thing. We do get the waist articulation plus ab crunch. Got to have that. Leg goes way up. Thigh cut. Double jointed, pinless knees. Boot cut. Ankles back forth, side to side, up and down. Usual articulation here. It looks to be the Vulcan body, if I'm not mistaken, on this one as well. But a good-looking Adam Warlock should fit on a Mattel ringside stand. There it is, fitting on the stand right there very, very easily. But pretty much my perfect Adam Warlock. When I close my eyes, as many nights I do, especially during the days that end in Y, I think of this Adam Warlock with my eyes closed. So looking pretty good there. But we did get another Adam Warlock, which is a good stand-in for a good decade, it feels like at this point. But man, this one feels so out of date compared to this one. And I guess constant learning, constant improvement in action right here. You can see the difference between the Marvel Legends over the years. But cool enough, there's enough meat on the old Adam Warlock bone for me to have 2 of them in my collection on some different shelves and stuff. So very happy to get this. Would love to see some more Infinity Gauntlet stuff in the future, just for childhood nostalgic sake, maybe, possibly. But now we're diving over to Miles Morales, and I gotta be honest, the one I'm probably the least excited for in this entire wave. I feel like between the Spider-Verse movies and everything else under the sun, we've had so many Miles Morales figures, but hey, why not one more? Why not one more? Plastic prison, old Miles looking good. It is Spider-Man, of course. The Miles Morales, the ultimate Spider-Man. As I always say with Miles figures, you ask my 2 daughters, of course, who Spider-Man is. They're not saying Peter Parker. They're saying Miles Morales, which the changing of the guard, I guess, where it was always Peter Parker. Easy for me to say when I was a kid. On the back, got a little bit of a blurb, got the jibber jabber, got the UPCs, got the cross sell, unboxing them all, as you guys know. It does say in Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man #1, Miles must work to overcome the disappearance of his father and aftermath of the battle with Galactus. And that's tough times. It's always sad when your father disappears on you. Remember my dad used to be on this show all the time. He was all the time. He was here for all the monster reviews, and then just one day he disappeared. Said, I'm done with the channel. It was nice knowing you. I'm never going to see you again. Since then, we have got him back for, I think, 2 or 3 videos, but it's pretty sparse. It's pretty sparse at this point. Talked to my dad today. I said, Dad, want to come on the podcast? And he said, absolutely not. Not coming on the Kyle Peterson show, unfortunately. But maybe we'll get him back in another video here next Universal Monster. But it'd be nice to get him in long form on the podcast one of these days. So keep fingers crossed. Stay tuned for that. Might happen one of these days. Once again, sooner rather than later. But let's dive into the figure here. Very light figure with Miles Morales, as you know. Hopefully he can find his disappearing father, of course. Maybe his father's the Invisible Man. Who knows what's going on? See you later. Goodbye. Plastic prison. See you later. See you later. You do get the book, Spider-Man #1, Miles Morales. Once again, I'm not going to have him sitting there reading his own comic book. Doesn't make sense to me. But man, it's a little guy. He looks like a young Emmanuel Lewis right there is what it looks like. Jeez, this is like a little kid. I guess he's kind of like a teenager and stuff. But man, this is a small figure right here. This could be the smallest Marvel Legend outside of, like little guys and stuff. See you later. The dwarfs, of course. But man, this is a weird, creepy figure. Very creepy. But let's dive into the hands first here. He's got the I love you, brother hand. He's got the gripping hand. He's got the fist of fury. We got a Spider-Man Foop hand. And then, of course, we got the splayed out hand there. Very interesting, though. The body is so small. Such a small figure here. But he looks like a guy in like his early 30s. So it just looks really weird and really strange. This is a very strange figure. Very, very short stature as well. Just looks like a regular Joe to me. Got kind of a nice haircut you could set your watch to, of course. Just a stoic, kind of borderline smiley face here. 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth. Playing all those human hits is what it looks like. And then you get the Spider-Man mask that looks a lot better. It almost, with the eyes here, almost looks like he's kind of an evil Spider-Man. But I'm going to have to say I'm going to have to use this Spider-Man head. I don't have a connection to this face, and there's no personality in this face. And it looks like a creepy little person is what this looks like. It looks like just like a little person dressed up as Spider-Man. And it's just, I don't know, there's something strange about this figure. It's just very, very strange. But let's walk through the articulation quick. You do get the butterfly shoulders on him. That's always nice. Arms go all the way around, bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows. The hits continue. Hands removable back, forth, side to side. You can wave to everybody. Wave to everybody if he needs to. You do get the hula hoop up top. You do get the ab articulation. Legs go up. Drop down hips on this one. Thigh cut. Double jointed, pinless knees, boot cut, ankles back and forth. So there is tons of articulation in this little guy. But man, little guy he is. This is just such a small figure. Brand new body, I'm pretty sure. I don't recall coming across this ever before. Should fit on a Mattel ringside stand. Nope. Just like his body size, his hole's too small. Too small. Somebody's going to need to wear that hole in. Adam Warlock, it might be your time to shine. Who knows? But man, this is a very small figure. But it does look good. I like the all black. I like the red and black attack, of course. Spider-Man logo looking good on the chest. Got one on the back as well. A little bit of webbing, but besides that, you're an all black bodysuit. So pretty minimalistic as far as Spider-Man figures do go. But what I can't get past here is the size of this one. Just a very, very little guy right here. You put him next to Adam Warlock. I mean, it really looks like he's a little person, not just a little kid, a little person. So a little bit wild, cool for what it is, I guess, if you love Spider-Man Miles Morales, but not a must-have. And like I said, my thoughts and predictions turned out to be true. Probably my least favorite of this wave. No probably about it. It is my least favorite of this wave here. But the Adam Warlock on the other end of the spectrum, possibly my favorite of the wave. I do like that ROM Space Knight, but I don't have a connection to him like I do with the Infinity Gauntlet. So I don't know, but man, this Miles is a crazy one. But what say you guys and gals out there? You pick this set up? You pick up any of these? Playing the long game, the no game? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you. Yes, it's true. Even more content over on Patreon and YouTube channel memberships. Get early access to both of my YouTube channels and your best way to support the channel. Appreciate that, of course. My book, the ECW Complete OSFTM Guide, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or via me. Check it out if you have not. Appreciate the support over there. The Kyle Peterson Show, up every single Tuesday on video form on YouTube or wherever your podcasts are found on audio. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. So for Adam Warlock and little Miles Morales, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
We're going to the end of the line.